What's going on, man? 1-800, nobody is stopping that boy. I got the game on the string. Feel like it's glued to my hand. If you think you're taking the ball, that means I'm losing my hand. I'm cooking the nights for breakfast. Look how I'm making the scramble. Just like the flies in the pan. You know I came with the handle. I know you want to slap me. Nobody's blowing their candles. Watch how I rock them to sleep. You better bring him pajamas. Look how they slipping and falling. I got them going bananas. I got an ankle bully graveyard. Give me an ankle for burial. This is an ankle under investigation. Y'all gotta guess who did it. The ankle bully was playing. You better take him and lace him. I like to shake him and break him. Straight to the hole, I'ma take him. Already know I'm taking because I'm an ankle bully. You need your ankle brace. Run from that ankle bully. Cause I'm like an ankle breaker.
We're live, the home of the Rockets in wonderful Houston, Texas. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline, and we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.
Well, guys, we know when you talk about dedication, Chris Paul is among the greatest. Now, he says, I have a scary passion for basketball. I study it, I watch it all day, every day. I'm not the most athletic guy, so I have to use my mind and my knowledge of the game. Kevin, he is a professor out on the floor.
Tremendously competitive with great attention to detail, David. Thanks. When we think about Porzingis, some consider him the heir apparent to Dirk Nowitzki as the best big man to come from Europe. Certainly the potential is there, would you think?
The potential's there. The knee injury really worries me. I don't like when the tall guys get injured. And it's something we've seen my whole life as a basketball fan, whether it's been Yao Ming, Bill Walton, Ilgauskas. I think the technology is better now. I love the way he was playing before he got hurt. You know, he was 30 a night there for 6 weeks at one point. And his inside-outside game is the perfect stretch five because on offense he can be 25 feet away from the basket. On defense he can protect the rim. I really worry about the Knicks, though, and just how much bad luck that team's had. And any player should be nervous to be in the Knicks. Try to get traded, Porzingis.
So a look at our starters for the Knicks. You've got Brandon Ingram, the captain out there with Jimmy Butler. And there's Porzingis, and it's Cousins in at center. Lob pass to Capella. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Pulls it from the elbow. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Butler's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Knicks. Now here's Paul. He's guarded by Chapman. Floats one. It's not going to go for him. Nice D from Cousins. Ingram against Jones. 2 points. That one goes.
The reach of a center, the touch of a guard. Ingram, a towel.
Harden against Butler. And here's Harden. A 29-point game for him in the win against Sacramento.
And even if you took away his points, he was still an offensive force because of his passing. And his assist numbers were tremendous.
You know, the confidence Harden has in his three-point shot, especially that step back that he shoots, is just mind-boggling. He loves letting it fly from deep.
Back to Butler. Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Fast break. Paul's got it. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Paul's got his first bucket of the night.
That is the quick decision-making of Chris Paul. Doesn't take a single dribble, just sees it and hits it.
Chapman the pass to Porzingis. Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot, you know? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a three. He's got the pull-up hezzy jumper, as it calls it. He can go to the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number one choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
And the Knicks with possession here. Outside Butler, passes it to Chapman. And that one is stuffed right through.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
Talking about last-second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top five?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're going to stop him, but, you know, you put a taller guy on him. And Curry, to me, Curry is the greatest not in the offense scorer I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just you forget about it for one play, and all of a sudden he's in the corner and they're setting him up or he's running off the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, yeah, you run them off screens and you tire the guys out. You kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get out of my way guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
And the foul called on Porzingis. That's his first foul. Ingram against Jones. Paul, right side, just 5 on the clock. Goes up to the stripe. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. Bill, it's interesting. More than 50 colleges and universities now offer scholarships in esports. I did not know this. And that number is probably only going to go up.
Yeah, it makes sense, too. What's more popular, esports or water polo? No offense to the water polo players, but come on. Come on.
These kids love it. They cannot get enough of these games.
Yeah. We should have, every college should have esports.
Here's Ingram. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And so New York calls timeout. They're first. And this is the first season matchup for them against this Rockets team.
And, of course, playing against their NBA Finals opponent from a season ago, they hoisted the Larry O'Brien Trophy and sent this club home empty-handed.
Guys, plenty of anticipation for this one from the fans and these two teams, and even us. Two elite teams, no doubt about it.
In the second half of February now, the power rankings have lots of statistical analysis to pull from. Taking a look at Houston, they are stuck in the same spot, still outside the top 3.
And you know what, the Knicks, they've blown away the so-called experts' opinions. People who didn't realize how high their ceiling really was.
Ball finds Jones. On the wing, Harden, from the arc. And it's Ingram with the rebound.
Well defended that time. He's a shooter that the D has to close down on quickly when he's ready to pull the trigger.
And that's a foul called on Porzingis. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second foul of the first quarter, and they may want to sit him for a while to avoid number 3.
And the Knicks making a change here. Cantor's checked in, and as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball. Jones kicks to Capella. Pass to Chris. Just 5 on the clock. Houston moving it around. Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you in 17?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. It was probably the most famous NBA game ever of the, the kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. Triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Last game for Houston, they picked up the win against Sacramento. Here's Chapman, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. This is the 2K leaderboard with a rundown of the NBA's top defenders down low. The league's leaders in rejections this month. Well, you look at the captain, fierce inside defender, tops in the NBA in blocks.
And guys, as the month has unfolded, his interior defense has gotten better and better.
Hartenstein, he's checked in for Houston. Napier comes in for Paul. And a switcher also for New York. Knox is checked in. Three-pointer. Up again, and Cantor able to finish. Cantor's got his first basket.
Man, this thing is just going back and forth tonight.
Yeah, it's been a seesaw battle. Right now, I mean, as soon as one team grabs the lead, the other grabs it right back.
Harden inside the three-point line. His shot is good. Scores his third basket in 6 tries. Shooting 50%.
And, even if you contest the shot, there's no guarantee you're stopping Harden. I mean, he's locked in on scoring, and he's one of the very best in the league.
Chapman the pass to Butler. Bill, Commissioner Adam Silver believes the 2K Esports League will have the staying power of the NBA, WNBA, the G League. Pretty powerful comment to make.
And I hope he's right, because I want to be the lead color guy. I want us to be the team. Why can't it be us, Kevin Harlan? Are you kidding me? Let's do that. Cut me the check. As Rasheed Wallace would say, CTC. Cut the check.
Bill Simmons is here.
I'm ready.
Jones has gone 2 of 3 from the floor. Here's Chapman. Napier covering. Pass to Cousins. And the 3 off target. And so it's Jones. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. In the corner, Harden. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. New York's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And Cousins throws it down.
Yeah, the dynamic finish by Cousins. Not a freak athlete, but he's a gamer for sure.
And look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for New York. Jones looking for an opening, and the pass to Paul. And it's Chris in the corner. Pass to Capella. Kicks it out to Harden. 6 on the shot clock, and it's all evened up. Harden's got 10 points in the game.
Harden is known for his creativity. Can't lose him in the screen and roll, or he'll take you to school.
The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Jones is out there with Chris, and it's Capella in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Here's Cantor. The kick outside to Butler. Over Harden. And it's Butler missing.
A little ambitious cautious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey guys, the captain in the last game against the Bulls delivered a big performance. He ended up with 31 points and seemed to be playing in slow motion with a huge number of assists. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
David, appreciate the report. He was a one-man show in that game.
And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how much that took out of him. I mean, he'll have a hard time putting up anything even close to those numbers here tonight.
Well, Greg, you know where I'm going. He was a stat sheet stuffer in that game. Did a little bit of everything and did it all well.
Bill, several of your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, you know,
I think they embraced the
I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilets or bring on an airplane or whatever they want to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Will Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Will Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that made me want to write the book.
And he knocks down the first one.
And, you know, the Beard continues to impress, continues to get better, and MVP candidate seemingly every season. Now, I got a question, though. How does he maintain the look of that beard?
Out to Porzingis. Drills the three-pointer. Porzingis has got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he's been orchestrating the whole game at a high level.
Yeah, making his teammates better through his passing. Greg, you know about that because you did it. Great job sharing the ball.
Well, I appreciate it, partner. Always important to have somebody keep rhythm in the game.
New York's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Here's Chapman. He's coming off a 31-point game against Chicago.
And he caused major problems with his defense as well. He had 4 steals by the time the game was over.
New York calls timeout.
Yeah, and it's coming down to the wire now, Kevin. A tense time for some of these players.
Well, you look at the captain. Right now he leads in the East, getting plenty of ballots with his name on it. And it's going to be an exciting showcase. We'll keep you updated with the results each day during the voting. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where there are these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree. But for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
You challenge people, that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And
That's
you
how
got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it.
Yeah. So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk. We did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Harden against Butler. Harden left side. Inside. Ripped away. Here's Chapman. 6 points for him. Porzingis can't hit.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
You know, Harden will burn you when you overcommit and leave guys open. He's excellent at sensing when you're out of position.
Here's Chapman, defended by Paul. Here's Porzingis. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Guys, he has been a major factor, big time, outstanding at getting quality looks and knocking them down.
Now a timeout called by Houston. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And you know, Greg, they were sinking shots left and right, and that's got to be demoralizing for the defense. They were in a real zone.
Rockets trail by 6. Paul kicks to Chris. Pass to Harden. Bill, you watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots velocity, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved, and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James, and it's carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick on their fans on the writer.
And stolen by Chris. It's the ball. Ball's knocked loose. And another turnover here by New York. Here's a look at what's coming up for New York. On Saturday, they're off to Miami to face off with the Heat. And then on Monday, they'll be facing Hassan Whiteside and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And with the way they've been able to march right along in this season lately, I think they should be able to keep things going in this next stretch. Just come out with the same energy and discipline, and you should have some wins.
Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now, and I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, some of the Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew, like Paul Pierce, who knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. And you had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old giving, like, you know, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview. Like, he doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable. Both shots good from the strike.
Gotta like the confidence. Such an important part of making shots. Nice seeing a big man knock down free throws.
And it's Paul with the ball for the Rockets. It's a 10-point game. Inside. And Harden with the basket on the assist by Paul. Paul's got 3 assists tonight.
And you know, the thing about Harden, crafty in the paint, he really finds angles and avenues to get the shots he wants when you don't think there's any angle or avenue to find.
Porzingis gets in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
Continuing to push the action and build this lead.
Yeah, you know, continue to pour it on them. That's what they want to do right now. Doing their best to put this game out of reach and in the win column.
And a brief moment now to see who's atop the NBA in team free throws. Number 1, the Knicks.
You can't be careless when you play them. I mean, no wasted opportunities at the line. It's a team effort, and they're getting it done.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. A different look for New York. Miles Turner, he's checked in for Kansas. DeMarcus Cousins comes in for Porzingis. And it's Knox in for Ingram.
You're having a lot of success from the line here in the second quarter.
Here's Chapman, covered by Chris. Kicks it to Cousins. Just 5 on the clock. Over Napier. Misses off the left iron.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
1:33 left in the first half of the game. Butler against Harden. In the corner, Napier with it. Kicks it out to Harden. Off target from three-point range.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Well, we want to thank the sports guy for being here. Enlightening as always. Bill, what a pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I hope my son was impressed. Thank you, Kevin.
I'm sure he was. And Clark, always great to have Bill with us, a content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable.
The pass to Nate. Passes it to Chi. Here's Hartenstein. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and backcourt for the Knicks.
And their guards are taking on the majority of the passing and assisting for the team. Just as you might expect, the bigs doing their part by getting to good spots inside and making themselves available.
The first free throw is good.
You know, you look at most winning teams in this league, and there's no denying they have an identity, who they are and how they play consistently. The Rockets fall into that category, a defined style of play and pieces that fit pretty well.
No good on the second free throw.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Another steal. Chapman the pass to Turner. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Turner's got his first 2 points.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Pass to Harden. Houston moving the ball around. That one good for 2.
Mr. Do-It-All coming away with the assist there. I mean, Harden making sure to keep his teammates involved in the offense.
Here's Chapman. 7 points in the game. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. Next ball. Here's Chapman. 11-point game. Up in time. And so it's the New York Knicks. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot. High turnovers in the first half, James. I'm sure that ball security will be a focus in the second half.
Yeah, that's still too many turnovers, especially on forced turnovers. So we got to really lock in on our turnovers, make the right play at all times.
James, thanks for the time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. And it's been a clinic out there by Kristaps Porzingis.
And I loved in that first half that they were patient, looked for good shots, and knocked them down.
Yeah, I liked how they took the initiative. They were really locked into what they wanted, not letting the defense dictate their shot selection.
On the court for the Knicks, Porzingis is out there with Brandon Ingram. Then there's Jimmy Butler. Then there's the captain, and it's Cousins in at the center position.
I tell you, that is not what they want. A contested jump shot, the defense right on it. You need to get a better shot than that.
Got that one up quick. Jones has got it back down to single digits for the Rockets. New York's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Here's Chapman, defended by Paul. Porzingis passes to Chapman. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Chapman's got 9.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
You're exactly right. It's been all good at one end, and let's be diplomatic and just say not so good at the other end.
Outside, Porzingis. That's in. He's 7 for 12 now in the game.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Here's Paul. He's got 6. Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Harden against Ingram. Baseline J on the way. Ingram with the steal. Here's Butler, and it's Butler with the jam.
And I love watching Jimmy Butler play. This guy is just fun to watch. I mean, he's a tremendous dunker, strong physical body, and he knows how to throw it down.
Dribble drive has never gone out of style. Still a primary weapon when you think about some of the guys who are best at that. Who comes to mind for it?
Man, there are a lot of guys that convert off the bounce at a high level. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, one of the very best. I don't know if anybody has a handle as sweet as his. Harden is terrific off the dribble with the drive or the pull-up jump shot. Dennis Schroeder, maybe not of the ilk of those guys, but certainly a handful when he's got the ball in his hands with a live dribble.
A shot by Harden, wide open, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Paul's got his 5th assist in this one. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Chapman the pass to Porzingis. And another assist for him.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. Timeout called, the Rockets.
And the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they've got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
And taking a look here at the numbers for Clint Capella, what a run he's been on over the past few weeks. 3rd in shooting percentage, and he's among the top 15 in rebounding. Just a powerful presence in the paint.
And it's a strong accomplishment. 3rd best in field goal percentage. He just refuses to take bad shots. That's why his coaches love him.
He's putting on a commanding performance here. He's hit 2 3-pointers in each half now.
Pass to Cousins. And again, it's New York.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
From deep, Harden. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
And I'll tell you what, Greg, once he finds that rhythm, he's hard to guard. Shots come easy for him.
And the foul on Harden. That's foul number 2 for him. Here's Cousins. Hits the fadeaway. Cousins has got 4 points now in the quarter.
You know, I really enjoy watching Cousins go to work deep inside. I mean, it feels like, to me, nobody can guard him down there.
Paul dishes to Harden. He kicks to Jones from outside the arc. The Knicks pull it in. Ingram's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Butler in the corner. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Butler. That's now 22 points for DeMarcus Cousins. Rockets trail by 15. Harden with it. 25 points in the game. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. With a break in the action, let's now bring up the 2K leaderboard and look at the league's top scorers over the past 10 games. Well, you look at the captain, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player. And, of course, James Harden, another guy who can get a lot of points, top 5.
These two guys are really enjoying themselves right now. It's been a scoring spree for both.
Here's Chapman, defended by Paul. And Capella sends it back.
Over a 7'4" wingspan for Clint Capella. That's long, folks, and makes him an intimidating shot blocker.
And the Rockets making a change here. Tucker's checked in. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for the Knicks. Frank Ntilikina comes in for Butler. The wide open look here for Porzingis. The 15-footer, good. Porzingis has got 24. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for New York.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnover.
New York leading by 19 points. Here's Chapman, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Here's what the Houston Rockets schedule looks like. They'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs. Then on Monday, they'll start out on the road and play the Lakers in Los Angeles.
And for that game against the Warriors, this is a game that they are expected to win, but sometimes those are the kind of games where you get a little bit sloppy and start looking ahead. Either way, they'll need to put in tremendous effort to walk away with the victory.
And the Knicks making a change here. Cantor's checked in. Both free throws good from Chapman. Now here's Paul. 6 points for him. And there's the pass to Capella. Timeout called the Rockets. Buck, you were in Indiana after being drafted by the Pacers for a few seasons. Who are some of the more talented guys you played with there?
Well, Herb Williams, a teammate of mine at Ohio State, really outstanding big guy, mobile, could shoot it, excellent defender, shot blocker, and a high-quality guy. Vern Fleming was a guard that had size, excellent defender, driver of the ball. Wayman Tisdale, and he rests in peace. We lost Wayman a number of years ago to cancer. Really a gifted scorer. Steve Stepanovich, he and I both had to retire about the same time due to different knee trouble. And he was a rugged, mobile, good shooting big guy who I think would have continued to excel had he not had to retire.
Here's Chapman. Oh, yes, the turnaround. Chapman's got 15 points.
You can just see the passion and love with which he plays the game. You see how he prepares, the work ethic, the way he interacts with his teammates. And when he hits the floor, it's all about the game.
I've got a word for Harden. It's indefatigable. Say that real fast, which basically means he's tireless. Even when he's carrying the whole offense, he's got great energy and stamina.
They get a hand on it. Cantor, the pass to Chapman. Clock at 4. No good from Cousins.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
Harden kicks to Paul. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. And 11 points for Chris Paul.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
New York moving it around. Out to Hardaway. Passes it to Cantor. Here's Chapman. Good for another basket. He's put up 10 shots and made 7 of them.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
As well he should, Greg. I mean, he always is looking to score the ball, even more so when he's hot. I like the mindset.
Harden scanning the floor. Pass to Tucker. Paul outside from deep three-point range. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint.
3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Here's Chapman, defended by Paul. And Paul over to help. Here's Ntilikina. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Ntilikina's got 5.
I really like the rhythm Ntilikina plays with. Good at sensing when to shoot off the pass.
Paul kicks to Chris. And it's off from three-point range. And so Cousins will bring it up for New York. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. When this game is done, they'll be off to Miami to take on the Heat. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Here's Chapman, defended by Paul. Now Cantor. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. It's good. Cantor's got his 3rd basket of the night.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Harden's shot is good.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Here's Chapman, 17 points in the game. Cantor. Chris with the rebound. Chris has got 6 rebounds in the game. Harden outside. And, yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant one there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He'd better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. Free throw good. Paul.
You know, when Chris Paul came to the Rockets, a lot of people questioned if he and James Harden would be able to share the ball. Both known for being ball-dominant guards. I think you'd have to say it's worked out pretty well.
You know, here's a factoid you might not know about Chris Paul. Basketball is not his only sport. He's an amazing bowler, too. Now, I'm not sure if you call that a sport as much as you call it a skilled activity, but he's good at it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Hartenstein, he's checked in for Capella. She comes in for Chris. And it's Napier in for P.J. Tucker.
And with the chance, let's take a look now at the numbers for the captain. Tops in scoring, 1st in assists, and he's 1st in the league in steals per game. Just an incredibly aggressive and tenacious defender.
And his scoring abilities are just so far out of sight. Number 1 overall right now. No one's been able to slow him down or even come close. Left side, Turner, 13 feet away. It's rebounded by Hartenstein. And I think Chris Paul never comfortable with that ball-dominant label, Greg. He never played with another guard who could create, certainly on the level of Harden.
No doubt about it. I mean, Low-Key, J.J. Redick, guys who were great shooters, but really more off-the-ball players. Chris needed to be that kind of a playmaker, but with Harden, he has someone just as gifted at creating baskets for himself and others.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, it seems every season new records are set for the number of three-pointers made and attempted. It's proven to be successful, and of course, it is a copycat league. It's hard to know why it took so long for everyone to catch on, but now that they have, the effects continue to ripple throughout the league.
They sure have, David. Thank you. Shot in the pass to Turner. It's blocked. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll return possession. Jimmy Butler, he's checked in for the Knicks. 1:36 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. It's deflected. Harden outside. Pass to Nathan. From the wing. And the Rockets getting another bucket right there.
And you know what? One of the few bright spots in this game for them today. He's kept his edge even though they've been trailing.
Here's Chapman. Napier covering. There's a minute left in the third quarter, and he gets the bucket. Chapman's got 12 points here in the second half.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half, sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
To the inside. The 9-foot shot. And it's wide right. It's off the rim. New York leading by 8.
If they play it right, we're talking a 2-for-1.
Well, you're maximizing your possessions. That's the critical thing here, and they've got to make sure the timing is right, though.
Jones checked in for the Rockets. Ingram, he's checked in for New York. And for Houston, they're shooting so far very efficient. All around, about 55%. And the pass to Hartenstein. Here's Napier. That's tipped. Here's Chapman. 19 points in the game. Knocks it loose. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's the New York Knicks holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. We come back right after this. Now let's take a look at our assist of the game presented by State Farm.
And he sliced the D wide open with his feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Yeah, that's just a brilliant read of the defense. I mean, it was also excellent anticipation of the movement of his teammates before the pass. Just great harmony on all sides.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. A moment now to reset the lineups. Back to us by Gatorade. All fueled up here for the fourth quarter. And so in the game for the Rockets, we've got Harden out there with Nate. Then it's Jones. And it's Hartenstein into the pivot spot, manning the middle. New York moving it around. Here's Turner. Misses off the left eye. Rockets trail by 8. And here's Napier. Kicks it out to Jones. Harden against Butler. 5 to shoot. Harden right side. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. New York leading by 8. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Butler on the way. Looking to get back on track here. And another assist. And that's his 20th assist. Wow.
Just doing a great job at orchestrating the offense.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Napier finds Harden. Back to Napier. Outside, Jones. The Rockets again can't hit. And it's Porzingis with the ball. He'll bring it up for the New York Knicks. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Here's Chapman. Napier covering. Butler against Harden. And there are the Knicks with another bucket.
I mean, the mid-range jumper of Butler is impressive as he continues to get better from here.
Harden kicks to Napier. Back to Harden. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. Passes to Nate. 5 on the clock. Fires the 3. No good. Now the Knicks take it the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 21.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
She passes to Nate, and it's sent back by Turner.
Oh, these arms of Turner's just go on forever. I mean, which is part of the reason he's able to rack up the block shots that he does.
Harden inside the three-point line. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way.
And, you know, that pass wasn't deflected or anything, Kevin. Don't see that often. An unfortunate, unforced turnover.
The Knicks leading by 12. Here's Chapman. Ingram outside. Kicks to Turner. Back to Ingram. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Hey, when Ingram is in attack mode, it forces the defense's hand, literally. Good job drawing the foul.
2 shots.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And he makes the first.
And Ingram, the former Blue Devil, an extraordinary player who only promises to get better and better.
For the Rockets, Clint Capella, he's checked in for Hartenstein, and Chris is subbed in for Chi. And so he makes both from the line.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime. Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
Back to Harden. At the top of the key, Capella. He kicks it to Napier. Trying to get something going. The Knicks pull it in.
Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
And that one's good. Ingram.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
And you know what, Greg? They are crushing it on both ends. I mean, in total control right now.
Napier dishes to Harden. Jones against Ingram. Outside, Jones. Over Ingram. Hits from the high post. New York leading by 14. Here's Chapman. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And being taller than most point guards, he puts that length to use. Example A right there.
Free throw good from Chapman. He swipes the ball away again. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
Ingram attacking. It's stolen by Capella. Harden outside. Outside, Jones. Shoots over Ingram. Knicks with the rebound. Chapman's got 11 rebounds in the game. Outside Butler. Here's Chapman. Napier covering. Back to Butler. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots over Capella. And the shot falls short this time. Rockets trail by 17. Harden right side. To the inside. Turner with the steal. Here's Porzingis. Gets it to fall, and now he's 10 of 15 on the game.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Here's Chapman. Pass to Turner, and here's Porzingis. 4 on the shot clock. From deep, and again, New York with the triple.
He's really picked up where he left off in the first.
And it's Harden with the ball for Houston, trailing by 19. Harden draws the double. Here's Napier. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Porzingis with the steal. Here's Butler. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Blazing speed on display from Butler. Superb at finding a way to get behind the defense in transition and taking what he gets.
Now, here's Napier. He started close. 3-pointer. It's rebounded by New York. Turner's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Chapman. Napier covering. May have been the 90s, Clark, when we saw the pick and roll really become a common type play. Defenses have now adjusted somewhat, but many offenses still rely on it now.
Man, you go way back to the 50s and 60s. The pick and roll has been one of the hardest plays to defend since really basketball came into existence, quite honestly. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense, and now with the interchangeable parts that many teams have, you have the real challenge of small guys setting screens on big guys and creating havoc. So screen and roll action is always a very important part of the game and a hard set to cover well on defense.
And so it's New York with it. Here's Chapman. Napier covering. The baseline J. Chris with the rebound. Chris has got his 7th rebound here tonight. And there's the foul. It'll go on the captain. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
And that 4th foul, guys, might force him to scale back the aggression from a defensive standpoint. He does not need, nor does the team need, number 5.
Chris Paul, he's checked in for Houston. Here's Ingram. Unable to get that one. Good work defensively by Jones. To the middle, shot to stop the run, and Jones slams it home.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Here's Chapman, defended by Paul. And Jones over to help. Mark, you've always been a student of the game. You've seen a number of guys do a great job of changing styles as they've gotten older in the game.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch. I think about Magic Johnson. I think about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Right.
You watch these guys, and there are a number of other guys, too. I mean, those come to mind pretty prominently. But again, it's about a concession to who you are for real, not who you used to be. And I love seeing guys play more on the ground when they were high flyers earlier, or add a jump shot when they were drivers. Those are neat evolutions to see.
Pass to Chapman. Clark, fast break fundamentals, center the ball, run 2 wings on each side, have another guy set up from outside, last guy trailing. We don't see that much convention.
No, we don't, Kevin, and I'm chuckling because I know it grinds the gears of a lot of basketball purists, mine included. I really don't like to see guys fan out to the 3 when the layup is readily available. It's part and parcel of how it's played now, but I think there's a balance. I think you should still be running for layups and use the 3 in transition, maybe in a delayed fashion versus the primary break fashion.
You see a lot of turnovers, too, a lot of missed opportunities on the break these days.
Yeah, great point, Kevin. You're right. Guys trying to get that ball out to the 3 instead of taking the easy layup opportunity. Agree with you 100% there.
And Harden comes to help. It's stolen by Capella. Paul with the ball. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
The rebound by Turner.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
Tries from 16. Chapman's shot is off.
And there was no effort on behalf of the defense. None. I mean, the shooter has to be upset with himself for missing that shot. Man, when he's got the height advantage down low, it's over. Forget about it. It's a wrap. You got to see more help if you're the defense.
You know, there's always this debate, Clark. Could the best teams 20 years ago beat the best teams of today?
I think there would be some compelling matchups, and I think you would find winners on both sides from different eras. I really do. It's hard to compare just because of the difference in eras and periods, but really good championship teams typically could handle most teams in the current era. I believe that in all sports. So compelling matchups, and I do think some teams from a couple of decades ago could handle some of the teams that we see winning championships now.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it, just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for New York.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. You kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that in men. They just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And for the year now, they'll have 52 wins under the belt.
Hey, guys, sometimes it's hard during the first meeting of the season to get a feel for a team. But these guys came out and made the necessary adjustments, and they have to feel good about going up 1-0 in the season series here against Houston.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for the captain.
There isn't much else you want from someone. He gave it his all and was rewarded with a triple-double.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Ntilikina. So no problem for New York as they get the win. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
Here's the guy I'm looking for. AI.
Yo, what's up, man?
I got you lined up for an interview, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. Good luck.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
And we welcome you back. I'm Ernie Johnson. We got Shaq here. We got Kenny here. With this one in the books, we've got a special post-game guest joining us.
Hey, this is Shaq. I got to give you credit. You're playing like an old-school big man tonight, dominating on the glass, in the paint, communicating with your teammates. Talk about your approach heading into this game.
Well, Shaq, Coach is always telling us how important it is to battle on the glass. That's something that falls on the shoulders of big men on this team. I just tried to come in with a hungry attitude, not give up on any single play, and that applies to both scoring and rebounding. I thought as a team we did a good job in both areas tonight.
Ernie, Kelly, I love this kid.
Love you too, Shaq.
And thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports group, this is Ernie Johnson. We'll see you next time, and the time after that, too.
There you go.